Hi guys, and welcome to Abe Jin's SketchUp workshop. So, in today's installment, we shall take a look at our Age of Empires Frankish barracks, and we shall continue working on the tutorial. So far we have created the barracks base. We have decorated it quite well with an archway, extra stones, crenellations. We have done the interior of the barracks, the inside interior walls and flooring, and we also did a whole second floor, so all in 3D. Now, let's just remember that we sampled the textures from the walls of Carcassonne and from a farmhouse in Normandy, both being medieval. Now, let's take a look, and this barracks right now sorely lacks one important thing, a roof. So, let's get it started. Now, for this particular tutorial, I've been in, well, a million minds about which roof texture I should exactly employ. So, let's see here. And of course, which roof shape would represent France or French architecture the best. So, I actually decided to stick with, well, Age of Empires conventions and just, circumvent all the trouble with what is best in life. Well, sticking with the mold, I think, would be the best here. So, let's see. Now, for our resources, I selected these fine roof shingles. I think they're quite lovely. So, let's see what they're gonna look like. So remember, Age of Empires has a sort of blurry representation of any model you put into it. So it's better not to go, crazy, not to go bonkers on over decorating the models. So less is more sometimes, and when it comes to textures, larger is better. So let's see here, and let's just try to make this roof a bit shorter, not making it too tall. Alright, perfect. So I think that's going to be great. Now, let's see here, and for this tutorial, we are going to fix up a roof that's, how should I say, quite unusual, because I would like the Frankish barracks to actually stand out among the rest of European architecture. Right? So, not necessarily being the same and not really looking alien to the rest. So, let's see if we can achieve that. So remember in the one of our earlier tutorials, we also made this protrusion right here. It was meant to give the barracks an extra dimension. Now, truth to be told, with it, it looks a teeny tiny bit like an Age of Empires 3 barracks, which is cute. And I hope it's going to fit in with the rest. So, okay, and now we have aligned all the textures on the roof. Everything looks perfectly fine, no trouble here. So always remember to add a little bit of extra space here so that the roof casts a shadow, but then again not too much, so we're going to lean it a bit back just to make sure it's not too exaggerated. And always try to copy textures from faces of the same angle. So copying a texture from this face onto this one might not be the best idea. Okay, so we have fixed this up. Now let's see what we can do next. See, this is what happens to the textures. So you need to just remove the projected tag from them. So let's just memorize this roof. It's a great roof. Now let's go back to these shingles, and I'm going to select 3 of them for a very special purpose. Okay, So we make these three D shapes, and let's remember to texture them with different textures each. Okay. Now let's see. Mhm. Perfect. Now we will explode them, make a group out of them, and they will be square. I mean, once the group is finished. Okay, let's give SketchUp some time. You can do it. All right, SketchUp did it. So, what are we going to do with these? Well, we're going to add them to the edges of the roof. This is going to add extra dimension to the roof, and I think that you have actually seen this on many Age of Empires buildings, especially, for example, the Age 2 North European buildings. So it really stands out there. So, and sometimes making a whole group out of these is nice. So let's do it for, to speed things up. Okay. So we have pretty much successfully edited the roof with extra hanging shingles. Now it has a lot more dimension to it, I believe. But now comes the crucial part. So as you can see, the roof is dull. Everything is the same. So how to, when you look at it, the textures are overlapping in an annoying way, and getting them to fit properly would truly be a Herculean task. And we don't have time for that, so let's take a look at what options are available to us. So the first option is to actually readjust this texture into something far more useful. So we're going to enlarge it a little bit. We're going to make a unique texture out of it in a second. So we put in this here and make a unique texture. Then another, combine textures and erasing interior edges, and voila, we got ourselves a unique texture. Now this we will actually also shape as a connecting roof tile. So projected texture, hop, remove this, apply projected texture, reverse faces, apply, so that it's applied to all the sides if possible. Okay, I hope this is going to end up well. Okay, well, a bit of a feisty one. Okay, so we have made this. Now, what to do with it? Well, it's actually going to be a top piece of our roof. It's quite a, let's say, important one. So, but how to arrange it properly? Well, you don't want it to be completely flat. You actually want it to be under an angle, because then when you copy the other pieces, they actually fit in completely fine under the angle. So when you create a group and extend the group, voila, you got yourself an angle. And let's just do that again and again until everything is completely covered in roof shingles. Yay! Sometimes there will be some irregularities like here, so we just delete the roof shingles there and you got it right like that. Okay, so now we're going to align them diagonally. So it's sometimes best to just put them down next to the face so that you can align them and angle them properly. So we're just going to do it like this. Okay, perfect. So again, some extra precautions need to be taken. So we're going to destroy this group, recreate it as a new group to get this rectangular selection box. It's quite important to have it, and voila. See, I told you. It's gonna be easy, just like that. So we place a rectangular selection box, and you can already see that with this easy trick, the roof is far more, how should I say, it's rich, you see. So, and we have to now sadly repeat that for all the sides of the roof. So it's not going to be easy, especially because SketchUp sometimes doesn't want to listen to our input. So it's going to take some fiddling around with. But stick around and you'll be, I'm sure you'll be pleased with the results. Okay, so let's see. Okay, very nice. So this one is almost aligned. Now this one is going to go through the same thing as the others. We're going to delete it. We're going to reform it as a rectangular selection. The group will be selectable in a rectangular way so that we can actually copy it and paste it properly. And I don't think it's going to be an issue. Okay, perfect. So, okay, this has been aligned very nicely. Now, sometimes you will come on onto this. So we're going to actually just cheat a little bit by extending it. So we could add another piece here, but hey, ain't nobody got time for that. So now we're just going to copy this over here. And you can already see that the roof has really, taken up a dimension of its own. And we can copy it over here as well to create extra dimension. Ta-da! So now, even though the roof hasn't been, each and every single roof tile isn't necessarily three-dimensional, with this little addition, the illusion of having a fully three-dimensional roof can be achieved. So that's important. And again, in Age of Empires, the graphics are such that maybe it won't even be noticeable, even if you did a roof completely made of 3D tiles. Trust me, I tried. It didn't work very well. Okay, and now let's see here. Let's put some finishing touches onto this model. So what I would like to do is I would like to just give it a little bit of extra color. So which color shall we choose? Well, I guess the wooden color here wouldn't hurt it. Okay, nice. So that's how we get this extra texture. Now we have this little white spot here. So it's also easily fixed by adding a little bit of these. There we go. Now I'm quite happy with how this turned out, and I would like to show you a little bit of a trick. So let's see if we can make this roof a little bit larger, just to see if it's going to overlap nicely. Okay, 1, 2, there we go. So, and since the roof is isometric, only one of the sides needs to be, taken care of properly. Okay, so now once you saw this roof, you might say, hey, I like this texture's hue a lot more. So why does that roof have to be beige? Well, it doesn't have to be cream or beige. We can actually make it reddish. Or we can actually even make it comparable to our Vietnamese roof. Of course, the texture's hues will be changed in different ways. So, for example, if we go here to, to the Frank's source, we will see samples of a roof, and here is a sample of an Age of Empires roof. So as you can see, it's the brown Franca roof. So we'll take this roof and just compare it to that color, and voila, we got ourselves a nice original Frankish color. But we won't do that today. We're just going to make the original color a little bit darker. You will see why a bit later. And also this is going to be a bit darker as well. There we go. So thank you very much for watching. So this is how we do a roof for a building. Remember, always follow the lines of your own building, and it's going to be fine. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope it was useful. So until next time, please don't forget to to comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you want to see more of such content being posted. Thank you.